Hey guys, this is Robert Walden. I wanted to make a quick video and go over the results of our email marketing the past 90 days. Now that we're out past Black Friday and Cyber Monday, I thought it was a good idea, or it was important to go over the results and kind of analyze a little bit of how it performed for us, and then also just give some tips and suggestions that we've learned from our experiences. So as you can see from my screen, the past 90 days, we've done 146, almost $147,000 revenue just from Klaviyo, just from our email marketing, which may not be a giant percent for this store. It's around 16% of all sales the last 90 days. But that's almost $150,000 extra revenue that we wouldn't have had if we weren't engaged in actively email marketing our customers. So I think it's just really important for anybody that's running an e-commerce store, if they're either not emailing their customers or they're not doing a great job at emailing their customers, that it's really important to consider either upping your game, hiring someone, or using an agency so that you're fully utilizing your email list and not leaving any money on the table. It's one of the best converting sources of traffic and easiest ways to make extra money from what you're already doing. So I highly recommend that you analyze your strategy and your efforts going into the new year to make sure that you're taking full advantage. There are several different ways to take full advantage of your email list, one of which is to make sure you're always working on increasing your email size. So make sure that you have an easy way for people to add their email to your email list. Most sites will have some sort of newsletter sign up that's above the fold, or at the very least in the footer. You won't get as good engagement down there, but you should have it somewhere people can find. Another great thing is to have an exit pop. That's something you always want to be using or testing to make sure you're taking full advantage of everyone that visits your site and increasing the chance that you're going to add them to your email list. So we do that with Wheelio, which is a popular app for Shopify that you can find in the App Store. There's lots of other methods, lots of other apps and programs and services that offer exit pops. Just make sure you're configuring it properly for mobile. Often you either set up your exit pop on mobile to trigger after a certain amount of seconds or after they've scrolled a certain amount down the screen. You can look at your average on-site time and try to have it pop somewhere near the 80th percentile of time that they usually stay on the site, something like that towards the end. That way you're not bothering people that just landed. But that's really important. You want to make sure you don't have double opt-in enabled wherever you're hosting your email list. That way you can sign everybody up really easily and they don't have to double opt-in. For e-commerce, they're already showing intent because they came to your website and they started filling out things to be on your newsletter or to make a purchase. So the intent is already there, so you don't really need double opt-in, in my opinion. The other thing is it's really a ton of work to do email marketing on your own properly, especially if you're doing a lot of revenue. So I would highly recommend looking to do an agency because an agency will make sure all your emails are on point with your branding, with your website's branding and colors and color schemes and things like that, language, copy, imagery, everything like that. It also takes an extraordinary amount of work to segment your list properly, make sure your list is remaining healthy and that you're taking full advantage of everyone there and figuring out a sending schedule and all of those different things. Setting up promotions for major holidays or even minor holidays, which you always want to be doing because there's usually an increased amount of spending on e-commerce. So I would recommend looking into an agency, especially if you're feeling like you have a lot on your plate. I use an agency that's pretty inexpensive and has been really great for us. They're the ones that do 100% of our email here. So you can see from the results that it works well. And typically, email, the portion of your revenue coming from email should be somewhere between 15 to 30%. We're on the lower end because we have a store that has lots of different niches or groups of people, and so not every product we have on the store or every promotion we run is really going to be relatable to every single user or customer. So we tend to be on the lower 15 to 20% side, but I think for most stores, 20% is a good average to expect. Some stores go as high as 30 or 40% depending on their business model and what they're doing. But our agency is able to achieve 15 to 18% for us on average, sometimes as high as 20%. I would be happy to recommend this agency because I've used them for several years now, and previously I had tried other agencies and they were just not good at all, and there was no comparison between them and who I'm using now. So I'm happy to do an introduction if you're looking for a good email agency. I can highly recommend them. That they can work well with just about any type of business, and they'll help you make more money. So feel free to reach out to me. You can go into my about section and find my email and send me an email or comment on this video. I can contact you and do an introduction. I would be happy to do so. So the other thing is there's a lot of different email platforms out there. Klaviyo is my favorite. We've been using it for quite a while now. It's very easy to use. It's got the most functionality out of any email service I've ever used. They have tons of templates for different flows, or you may call them autoresponders. Flows are really important. You can see from on the screen here that flows amounted to half of our email revenue over the past 90 days, $72,000 just from automatic flows that we have set up. You can see that we have some of these below here and how much revenue they generated. The welcome series, which is a series of emails that goes out when someone makes a purchase from us, generated $25,000 just alone by itself the last 90 days, which is huge. Abandoned cart flow, which everybody should have set up. We do that with email and SMS, and right now it's only email through Klaviyo, but I believe they're going to be offering SMS sometime in the near future. So it would be good to have that set up here. That's the bare minimum you should be doing with email marketing. If you're not sending out campaigns, you should at least be doing abandonment. That's a bigger topic that we can cover on a different video. Browse abandonment is when they've been browsing the site but then didn't do anything further and left. You can have an email sent to them, offer some sort of promotion or deal, or just remind them. This is the receipt that we send out after they make a purchase. It's just an extra little one that we do. New customer thank you, repeat purchase, customer win back. There's just no end to the amount of flows that you can set up, and there's a lot you can do there. So they're great for that. And it also integrates with all the most popular e-commerce platforms and applications and services. So usually if you're using some popular service app platform, it's going to integrate with that. So really I couldn't recommend them anymore. It's a little bit more expensive than some of the others, but the options that you get and the functionality you get far outweighs the cost, in my opinion. Okay. And one other thing I wanted to talk about the agency I use a little bit. I mentioned before, they're really not like other agencies. Some of the other agencies that I've used or tested basically rolled out the same strategy across all of their clients. And so that didn't work very well for me because, not all of our businesses are the same. So it just didn't work very well. The agency I'm using now has a very personalized touch, so they'll go in and craft things according to your business and make all the choices dependent on how your business operates, and they'll test things out to find what works best. And they'll just spend a lot of time dialing it in for you, which is really, really important, especially for the lower cost of this agency compared to others. I think you get way more value. So that's one good thing I can say about them. They'll also go in and set up all of your flows. They'll set up all your campaigns. There's lots of flows you're probably not aware of that you should have that they can go in and completely configure for you. They'll segment your list and also use best practices to keep your list healthy. So I had no idea the best way to segment my lists. And now once I've kind of kept track of what they're doing, I see that I was really missing out on quite a bit. They have a way of segmenting intent and different groups of people based on how they engage that really helps to increase your open rates over time, which also will then increase your deliverability with the major email providers like Gmail and Yahoo and Hotmail and things like that. So it's actually one thing that a lot of people don't think about, but is really important and will really help decide how successful your email is over time altogether. So that's really important. They may seem like a big expense, a big bill, but when you think about what it would cost to hire a full-time employee, even if they're remote, that's experienced in email marketing and knows what to do and how to set all of this up, it's way, way cheaper than that. You're probably looking at spending like anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 or $6,000 a month for someone that was really, really good and worked full-time to set things up for you. Whereas these guys are a lot cheaper than that, and they're like full service and personalized, and you can get a hold of them anytime, and they'll give you reporting on holidays to show you how your campaigns performed. They've gone above and beyond for me on multiple occasions and helped me set up giveaways and experiment with sending out affiliate offers to further monetize my email list, just lots of other things. They're totally full service. So that's just made me realize what high value they are. And, really one thing that you may be thinking about is when would be a good time to hire an agency. Maybe my store only does, like a few $100s a day in revenue, or I'm just starting out and, this all just seems like too much. Well, there's definitely a good time to start paying an agency for your email marketing, and that might not be right away. What I figured is that when you're averaging around $25,000 to $30,000 a month, that's probably a good time to start. It really depends a lot on your margin and what kind of business you're running. If you have extremely high margins, then you could be making a lot less than that and still have it very much worthwhile to pay for the agency's fee and still make lots of money in return and save all of that time, which you can then go use on your marketing or product development or whatever else. So I'd say a good rule of thumb is somewhere around $25,000 to $30,000 a month. Once you've reached that amount, you need to really be doing as much as you can on email marketing to take full advantage of your list and your customers and your momentum. So that's really what I would recommend. And again, I'm happy to do an introduction to anyone that's looking to up their email game and wants to maybe try out the agency I've been using. I can't say enough good things about them. I mean, the results are there every time I go look at our numbers. They do an amazing job, and they continue testing new things. They don't just set it and forget it. Every month they have new promotions and new ideas of things to try, and they're always testing subject lines and just trying to do everything they can to squeeze every little bit of performance out of your email marketing. So again, feel free to reach out to me. Either leave a comment on the video or go send me an email. Find my email in the About section of my channel. And other than that, I just want everybody to take full advantage of their email and make lots of money. So I hope this helps somebody out. I'll probably be doing some future videos and dive into my setup and my flows and other little tips and tricks you can do to increase your email revenue and profitability. That's it for today. Thanks for listening. Be sure to like this video and follow us for more videos like this. Have a great day.